Thank you, Delano. Now on Bounce, we are talking about a unique class being taught right here in Charlotte. It is the first college English course on sneaker culture in the history of higher education. And we are joined right now by the man who teaches it, Jermaine King from Johnson C. Smith University. Welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Okay, so first, what is this course, Sneaker Culture?
Okay, so Soul Food Digestible Sneaker Culture is actually named for a book I wrote by the same title in 2008. Okay. What the course does is examine all things sneaker culture through the lens of Marxism. So every level, anything that you can think of that involves the course, we analyze the literature. There are books that support and are about sneaker culture, but literally we apply Marxist theory to everything. Okay,
interesting. Okay, so when did you start teaching the course?
This particular course is 3 years old, so 3 years ago.
And what made you want to teach a class not only on sneaker culture, but through the lens of Marxism?
Well, it's important to introduce literary theory to students outside of their major. And this particular course, though it's an English course, many of the students who take it don't end up being English majors. Now, regarding my relationship with the students, many would speak with me before and after class about anything. And a lot of times sneaker culture would come up. So when we were charged with the opportunity to create new courses, this one fit right in well.
So I'm guessing you have gotten all kinds of reactions from students.
Yeah, definitely. There are students who don't identify with the culture, however, have enrolled in the course because they recognize the rarity and the opportunity it is to study things outside of the academy that we would consider to be traditional.
Okay. And you've gotten some international recognition about this course.
Indeed. There was a story published originally by Charlotte Agenda. That story went to Complex, and then it went international from Complex.
Oh, wow. Complex magazine, yes. So very cool. And I hear that you are headed overseas to China next month. What are you going to be doing there?
Well, this particular tour involves a extended class. So I'll be talking about the culture in Beijing, in our embassy there as well, but for a week, literally spreading the culture over in the Far East.
I mean, that's pretty neat. Could you have imagined when you wrote this book in 2008 and then first started the class 3 years ago that this is where it would be taking you?
Yes, and beyond.
Okay, then.
And beyond, to be quite honest, yes.
Just brush your shoulders off. I like it. I mean, that means you were sort of speaking this into existence. Indeed. That you knew that it was going to take off and that people were going to be able to relate to this, like you said, whether they're sneakerheads or not.
Yeah. Okay, so the subculture has now become popular culture, and we all know once something becomes popular culture, it just goes from there. So yeah, I pretty much knew that even when I wrote the book that it would be bigger, because in 2008 it was already bigger than it ever was. So.
Okay. Okay. Are you hoping that more opportunities follow China?
Oh, most definitely. I have an opportunity to lecture at several different institutions, and hopefully that will grow larger and larger. But it's all for the culture, and the glorification and the publication of Johnson C. Smith University for also giving me the green light to create a class of this magnitude.
And because this is, I mean, like you said, this is outside the normal scope of what we think of, you know, when we think of academia. And so for them to give you that space, give you that autonomy, I guess is the word I'm searching for, really speaks to the kind of well-rounded education Smith wants to offer students.
Yeah, a lot of research opportunities. We are research, and this just shows you the type of curriculum, the type of outside-the-box thinking that we teach and instruct at JCSU.
Does it count as a credit?
Yes, it's a 3-credit course. It's a regular English course.
Okay.
The same way you have an intensive study on Faulkner or maybe even Shakespeare, you have one on Soul Food Digestible Sneaker Culture.
All right. Anything else you wanted to add? Where can people find this book? I wanted to ask you that.
Sure. Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, and any your friendly neighborhood retailer.
Okay, and say the title of the book again?
The book is titled Soul Food Digestible Sneaker Culture.
All right. Jermaine, thank you so much. Jermaine King from Johnson C. Smith. This has been a fascinating conversation.
Well, listen, I'm pleased to be here, and thank you for having me on.
And all the best next month in China.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Delano?
Very interesting.